Trump and Carson virtually tied in the latest national Quinnipiac poll. Trump topping the field with 24%, Dr. Carson hot on his heels at 23%. So there they are neck and neck. Senators Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz both seeing some pretty decent gains since the last debate, and Governor Jeb Bush fighting to get back in this game at 4. He is launching a new attack on President Obama and on Hillary Clinton. Here's some of it. Watch.
Take it seriously, for crying out loud. You're President of the United States. Don't always say the dog eats your homework whenever there's a problem. Blame somebody else. Things happen. You accept responsibility and you go about fixing it. That is a shameful example of corruption that just gets passed on. That's somebody else's fault. Well, it isn't. It's the President of the United States' fault. They report to him. And we need someone who has the guts to take on the public unions. Hillary Clinton, her response to the VA issue and to veterans is that it's a myth. It's a myth that they're being treated poorly, that vets are being treated poorly. The great majority of veterans are being treated fantastic. That's her response.
Chief political correspondent Carl Cameron live in Concord, New Hampshire this morning. So, Carl, history is being made in Concord today. What's going on there?
Well, it's the kind of history that Donald Trump will like to make in just about an hour or so. Martin O'Malley, the governor of Maryland and the Democratic candidate, is just exiting the Secretary of State's office here in New Hampshire, where the flag is officially up. If you want to run for president, you got to compete in the First in the Nation primary. And today, the filing period is opened. And Secretary of State Bill Gardner and his crew will have a visit in an hour from Donald Trump. There are now 2 official candidates, a gentleman by the name of Mark Stewart Goldstein, who you've probably never heard of and may never again. He actually ran once before and got 100 votes in New Hampshire. He was the first to file when the doors opened. Mr. Martin O'Malley is the first Democrat. Donald Trump will be the first major Republican, and he will pay his $1,000 and become a candidate. And the polls show that Trump and Carson nationally are in a battle. Trump has, in many of the polls here in New Hampshire, has a lead. The New Hampshire primary, the Iowa caucuses, the early voting states are notoriously fickle. So even though the polls show that Carson and Trump nationally are in the 20s and far ahead of Cruz and Rubio, and that Jeb Bush has literally lost 60% of his support since the last Quinnipiac poll and is now down to 4%, and the rest of the field's under 3%, it doesn't mean much in New Hampshire. It doesn't mean much in Iowa. They make up their minds here in the last week. So 13 weeks and 6 days from now, they'll actually be voting. And you can't even see anything because it's so crowded just in anticipation of the Trump arrival here. But it'll be a madhouse, and he'll have a press conference. He'll talk on the State House steps on the way here. So officially, the New Hampshire primary filing period of the New Hampshire presidential primary race is now really on. Martha?
The race is on. What a day. Going to be very interesting to watch them all come through there today. Carl, thank you so much.